Today's project is just going over all the bolts, making sure everything's still tight after this weekend. Heard a little bit of clanging back and forth, or whatever you want to call it, clanging. So we'll figure maybe there's just a bolt loose or something somewhere. But time to tighten everything. And I'm thinking about taking the sway bar off completely for good. I don't know yet. Watching the videos that I do have, the front end didn't flex without the body. It took the body with it every time. We'll see. I'm willing to try it. So I bought these 4-inch spacers for my airbags, and it was a little too tall with the Daystar cups that go on top of it, because those are about 3/4 of an inch thick. I didn't have much flex in the back. Now I have. So now you can see that these ones are only 2-inch spacers with the Daystar cups, and the airbag has a lot more room, so it tucks up pretty good now. There's a bump stop inside these airbags, so don't make the same mistake if you're going to put these cups on there. This is about 2 3/4. The other one's about 4 3/4, and I didn't like the way it did it didn't tuck at all. It was a rough ride because it kept hitting a bump stop. Now the back end ride's really nice. And I set these before I went this weekend, so now you can see how far down it actually went to there. So that's pretty good before it hits the bump stop. So go with the 2-inch if you're doing the same kind of setup I have. That way you don't have to buy them twice like I did. And then move your diff vent. I moved my diff vent up there, up in the rear tail light. You just take the tail light up, and I wire tied it up so it doesn't fall down. I wire tied it up there too. And don't make the same airbag mistake I did. That way you don't have to buy the spacers twice. 2-inch spacers if you're putting them cups on there. And you saw where the tuck went, or you saw where the shock went. So it worked out pretty good. Nice smooth ride in the back. Here's all the parts for my air project that I'm gonna work on. I got an Ironman, I think it's like a 5.56 CFM air compressor. And then it comes with a hose that's got an end on it for filling up tires that clicks into there. I'm gonna put this 1/2 inch inside diameter. I'm gonna go to there, and then I'm gonna hit a check valve. That way, hopefully I'm probably gonna end up putting like a little pinhole in one of these hoses or something like that, or not seal this piece. That way, after the air compressor gets done filling up, it bleeds off the air between here and the compressor, because you can't really start a loaded compressor. I haven't tried it on this one yet, so we'll see. Go to a little distribution block. This is for my airbags. This is going to be fill solenoids for left and right, and drain solenoids for left and right. And then to go between this and everything else, I'm just going to start using this cut up pieces and clamp it on there. There's all my fittings. You could use, I guess, a 1/4 inch air line in between each one. It doesn't have to be a high volume, but that's just what I'm going to do. This is going to go down to the air tank that's going to sit in the frame, underneath the frame, or underneath the truck, and bolted to the frame somewhere. And then there's going to be a drain in it, which is right here. Put a drain in it right here. And then it's going to come out of there, and also I'm going to use this hose to go to the front and back for air hookups in the front and back. And then I got wiring and stuff. This is my solenoid, my constant duty solenoid that's going to kick on and off with a pressure switch. The pressure switch is going to be in here also. The top of this has pressure switches, so I can tell what airbag each one has, pressure. It'll run out of here with the regular quarter inch air hose, which is DOT approved. I'm hoping it holds up. Some of my trucks use it. And then I have a couple of these fittings to go back to the airbags. That way I can run to the airbag. I'm going to also leave. It's going to have the same connection for the back of my truck, has the connection so I can air it up with a regular compressor if anything happens. Plus that's already ran, so I'm not going to redo it. So follow along for this. It's not going to be very fun, but I'm going to get it done. I'll show you where I'm going to put it. This is where I'm going to end up putting the air compressor. Right here. I cut all this. I got to finish cutting it, trimming it up, but I cut this out. A piece of wood's going to mount right here. The air compressor is going to sit right here. Hopefully it's not too loud in the cab, but it shouldn't run that much when I'm in the cab. Some of it's going to be for the bags, the lockers, and then just to air up tires. But while I'm airing up tires, I'll be outside of it anyways. I'm going to run a bigger wire from the battery to back here, so I don't have no kind of voltage drop. I have some left over, number 4 I believe it is. So I'm just going to run that back here. I'm going to put a little fuse block back here, that way I can have my switches and stuff for everything up front. So it's going to be a fun little project. I got to get it done, that way I can get my air lockers installed. Thanks for watching. Come back for the rest of the air system. See ya.